Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 31st of May, 2023, and we're at about 6:15 p.m. Central Time. It's also the end of my Memorial Day sale. So before I get into any spiel here on the markets, let me talk to you about that. Let me see if I can bring that up. There we go. And right here. All right. This ends today at 11:59 p.m. The computers Central Time are set to turn the sale off, so you won't be able to get it beyond then. Any one-year subscription to my services, they're as cheap as $156 for the year, so it's not expensive. You get any one of my 3 courses. You can take it yourself. You can give it as a gift. We'll work with you in 100 different ways. So that is what it is. It can be the full charting course, the course on enhanced Bollinger Bands, or the outside day course. They're all super important. They typically go for $120 a piece on the outside day, and the Bollinger Band, enhanced Bollinger Band, and $400 on the charting course. So any one of them that you want, and I think you'll find it's pretty worth the time and effort that we put into that and what you're going to learn. You move your cursor to the top up here. And when you do so, an icon will appear, give it a click, and away you go. Bye-bye sale. That's the way we'll look at it. So that's come to an end. So now, I was enamored today with watching the conversation of 2 Fed members, Harker and Mr. Jefferson. Now remember, Mr. Jefferson I believe he's been nominated to be the Fed vice chair. So he's got to walk a very tight line here. He is speaking both for Mr. Powell and as a Fed member. And remember, come Saturday, you won't hear from these guys, any of them again. They go into the blackout period until we get to the February 14th meeting. But I think everybody had to be taken back today by the JOLTS data. And that just showed that job openings jumped back over 10 million. The employers want to hire. That puts wage pressure front and center. They're certainly not hiring, I would say, in the industrial area, the industry. They are doing it in the service sector. And it just keeps going. I thought maybe they'd have hired enough people, but apparently they haven't. China continues super weak, and you see it in everything that they buy, be it the energy, be it the copper market. Do I have that over here? Yeah, I do have copper here somewhere. Well, we'll cover the chart, so don't worry about it in that way. But in the copper, it just keeps sinking away. And, people look at it as the canary in the mine. When copper sneezes, industry seizes. Well, China, 50% of the world's consumption, and prices down tells you. Steel rebar prices in the toilet, steel prices in the toilet. So they have their hands full in a major way. Their own doing in a large part of it. Their COVID reactions and so on are going to haunt them a long time, industry leaving them. And they have a propensity to save, not spend, and that's part of the problem they're having. Their own people don't want to spend right now. They're very, very tight with the dollars or the yuan at this point. They don't trust their own economy just here. So I get that and I understand it. When we take a look at the S&P, the market for the week is down 0.5 percentage point. So you can't tell me that it's fallen out of bed. It's held all the rally, and it's done a nice job of it. Are we going anywhere is the problem. Well, you had one spike up 2 days ago, and now you're sinking back. As you can see, today you sank, and we're already into the Thursday session. Tonight we'll have the vote, and that vote will come on the debt ceiling bill. It should happen from when I'm recording, probably an hour from now is the estimate of it. After that gets done, assuming it gets passed, and I don't know, but I'm assuming, everybody says they have the votes to do it, it'll then be sent over to the Senate. Then the Senate begins the process tomorrow and probably votes on it on Friday, and the president will hope that he has good news and can sign off on it. You have to remember, Friday you're going to get that all-important jobs report. Please remember you're going to get tomorrow morning the ADP numbers, and you're going to get the Challenger Gray numbers. So we're going to get a lot more jobs information. If we keep seeing strength in that, the question is, and if the jobs report number is strong, which I'm saying strong, not weak now because of the JOLTS number, as much as we hear Fed members going, it'd be time to pause or skip. They're playing with words now because they don't want the public to think that they're going into a pivot of any type. I don't know if they can do it. I'd say a real strong jobs number, anything 220,000 or more new jobs probably gives you another 25 basis point hike, if not more than that down the road. So I'm not fully in that camp. As I've said for a month, I am data dependent. The data today on the JOLTS was super strong. When we take a look at the S&P, you got a higher high, lower low, not much there. You went up to the upper Bollinger Band. You fell back almost to the 18-day average, got higher highs, lower lows, no patterns to trade from. As you take a look here, you get to see where that last high was actually made. I don't see anything to do in these markets. Yes, they're up. They are flirting with losing the embedded readings. If you get a reading under 79, this probably gives you a correction. I don't know if you saw NVIDIA backed off, SOX backed off, some of the key chip bellwethers, if you will, in the stock market. I'm paying attention to those. When you look at the Dow, it's in an out-and-out downtrend. The market is still oversold. Why? Any number under 30 is oversold. You learn that if you take my enhanced Bollinger Band course and my charting course, by the way. Look at the Russell. You went down, made another challenge of the lower band, and that's where you're trying to hold. But there's nothing bullish here. That's still very much in the bear camp. I was reading an interesting story as we get to interest rates about how much actual money is being saved on these bills and the impact on GDP. I'm going to review it in tonight's full research report. I was looking at the story. I got to find it again. You'd be shocked how little of an impact it is. In the 5-year notes, you're losing the embedded reading. If you and I come right here, on the close today, you had a 2266 reading. So for the very first time, I've gotten a signal that you should be out of all shorts if you pay attention to how I teach Bollinger Bands. And the idea is the market might be making a rally back up here to the 109 area and fight its battle there. In the dollar index, you're still fully embedded. So until the red line in this closes under 79, I think the breaks in the market get bought. In the eurocurrency, we got down to the zone where it is time to cover some shorts and then take another fresh look at the market on a good rally. It is embedded. You probably want to get through at least tomorrow's reports to see what you've got. Some people will sit back and do nothing until the jobs report, and I fully understand that. Makes sense. In the British pound, I noticed today, and I put out in my morning update, I said, cancel any orders to sell. At first, I was wanting to sell the pound, and then I saw it's going to lose the embedded reading if it went up to the sell number. And it did, and it lost the embedded reading. So that worked out well. When we look at Bitcoin, it is continuing to stay under the 18-day average. The bearish bias is in place, but it's very oversold. I'm not too keen on pressing oversold markets. The differential between the August Brent and WTI oil. Well, it's important. I write tonight about oil. Are you aware that now WTI oil moves into the pricing of Brent? There's a whole mechanism that takes place tomorrow, June 1st. It's been known for a long time. It now comes in. It's because of the importance of WTI oil in the marketplace. And you'd say, well, why do we even need WTI? Well, they're keeping the differential, but this will now get a new pricing built into it. It's very important. It used to be Scotland that was more important than us. Suddenly, we're now the ones stepping in on the pricing mechanism there. Again, I'm going to cover it in tonight's written futures updates. If you take my full package of research, that's where it's at. It'll be there tonight. And I've already written that. Lower highs, lower lows. Now, this is where I think pros cover shorts. They don't add to them right here. Same in the July WTI. I like the gasoline did what I thought. Remember, I told you, now you don't want to be a buyer going into Memorial Day. You've had your rally. That was it. Now you're getting the setback. And how deep it breaks is important because you don't get a big driving holiday until July 4th now. That doesn't mean the summer season doesn't kick off. It does, and the pick it will go up. The kids get out of school, families take vacations, and if they're smart, they'll drive. Buy an airplane ticket. I just bought one for my wife. Wow. just to New York from Chicago. Normally, first of all, they'd vie. I used to make that trip all the time because early in my career, I had offices also in New York. And I remember paying nothing. I mean, nothing, $50, $70, 500 and some odd dollars, Chicago to New York economy class. Come on, that's insane. These planes leave almost every hour. It's called the gouge. And people, they don't put as many planes out there like they used to, and they fill them to the brim. Natural gas down to the Bollinger Band almost, probably a good area to be covering. Market challenging old lows. Now we'll see if they mean anything. If this is a double bottom, what's going to come out of it? One more time, the sale ends today, 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Move your cursor to the top up here, and away you go. If you're on my mailing list, I did send the final email invite to take advantage of the sale. I thank you. We had a successful one. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'll see you tomorrow.